Alright, what's going on guys, it's your boy Zilchi and welcome back to another solo leveling Arise video. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at a new build for Jinwoo. Not really necessarily new, but we're more so revisiting an older build that has now been improved, and the build that you do want to work towards in clearing a lot of the upcoming updates, a lot of the upcoming bosses that is obviously upcoming, right? So we're going to be preparing for that, especially hard mode workshop of Brilliant Light. I'm going to show you guys the build that you want with your Jinwoo as well as your other hunters to be able to fully clear it with ease. Right, we're moving into a different kind of meta now. I mean, the meta has been that for a long time, which we're going to be talking about defense penetration, but for the most part it wasn't really a necessary thing. But we're moving towards a meta where defense on these bosses are absolutely ridiculous. Just because they're a higher level, we're getting hit with some restrictions, right? So we're going to talk about that and which stats can be a little bit ignored, just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit, so that way you're able to get to a point where your defense pen can be pretty good, right? So that's what we're going to take a look at. So if you guys do enjoy this video, if you guys find it helpful, be sure to hit that like button, comment, share, and subscribe. We're almost less than 100 subscribers away from 10,000. The goal is still there. It would be so cool if we could hit that pretty soon, before the end of the month, hopefully, right? So yeah, let's just hop straight into it. First things first, we're going to take a look at what I decided to do with the stat points, right? So we went 594 in strength, perception at 80. We're going to take a look at our gems as well. I'm going to show you why I built it this way, right? So if you look at what we have here, we have attack at 42,860, which is pretty good, right? Almost 43k. Precision 89.4%. The reason why I did this is because anywhere from 85 to 90%, I believe, or 85 to 100% or 99%, right, is pretty good. I wanted to go from 85 to 90%, and eventually we're going to go from 90 to 99. But for now, I believe this is a very good spot to have your precision at, because this allows you to do more output of the damage from your weapons, right? So I think this is a very good spot that you want to go out. Anywhere from 85 to 90% is very good, depending on where you want to stop, right? That's depending on what your resources are, what level you are, your weapons and stuff like that. So anywhere to 90% I think is very good. Crit hit rate, we are slightly over crit. I would ideally want this at 10,000. Guys, my build is not perfect, right? My build is absolutely not perfect, but I'm going to show you guys the direction that I'm now going towards with my Jinwoo, right? So I'm now at a slightly over crit, about probably like 3,000, right? So 7671. Ideally I want that at 10,000 if I can, but for now it's not looking like that. Artifacts just aren't running my way. Crit hit damage anywhere from 185 to 200% is very good, so you can just put wherever you want that. Defense pen, you can see right here, close to 20%. This is what I'm talking about, right? Before, my defense pen was probably like 10%. My damage increase was over 20%. I decided to limit my damage increase so that we can work on our defense pen, just because of the meta that we're moving towards, right? The defense on the bosses, it's getting ridiculous, right? Because they're a higher level than us, and we're losing out on a lot of the damage that we're doing because the defense is so high, obviously. So we can penetrate that defense. You start to see yourself do very good damage, as shown with Esso coming to the fire team, allowing the fire units to do so much damage because of their defense penetration, right? Specifically Yusu Hyun. So very, very good. That's what we're moving towards. That is the meta that we're looking at, which is going to be defense pen. And honestly, obviously, if you can get your damage increase over 10%, that would be great. But right now, unfortunately, I have nothing to put my defense pen and damage increase at a higher point. So we're just going to keep it as this for now. I did sacrifice a lot of my damage increase, as you can see right here, but we will get working on that eventually again, right? So that's that. Now, if we take a look at our gems, we can talk about that real quick. I can also talk about the cores, but we'll take a look at the gems first. Where is it? So the reason why my precision is able to get to that point is because of this right here, the tier 5 gems, right? Tier 5 gems are absolutely important. This is not even tier 5. This is a rank 4. So if I can get another precision, or I could even change this and just put defense pen here. We could get a lot higher defense penetration, but I'd be sacrificing my what would we talk precision? There, I could not figure out the word for some reason. But this is where you go to increase that, right? We get a bunch of tier 5 gems here, a bunch of tier 4s, as you can see here. I'm not getting too many precision tier 5s, and honestly, I could just put these there, right? I could just do that, and that would be great. But again, I do want my precision at 90% or close to 90%, so we could technically just leave that as is, right? Just keep this how it is. If we ever end up getting, see, like this right here, I could get rid of, right, and just put defense pen there. But we're gonna wait for some for more tier 5 gems just to see what the best course of action is, right? But if you guys have your tier 5s, be sure to equip that, because that's also a good way to increase your overall TP. Overall TP is very, very important. So this section, this entire, I think the yellow section is probably the most important section right now. It's because it gives crit damage, defense penetration, and precision, right? So I think work on those ones if you can. If not, it's not a big deal, right? Just use what you have to be able to increase your power to that point. This side, you can see we have all tier 5 attack, additional attack, and attack percent. That's what you want to do for Jinwoo, obviously. We're at a point in the game right now where additional flat attack is still better for Jinwoo because of just the attack percentage on the artifacts being able to get to a certain point, right? So I think flat attack is definitely better right now, but I think overall attack percent will be better when they decide to do something with it. But right now I think flat attack is just 100% better. So if you're building your Jinwoo, just build flat attack. Obviously you do want some attack percent as well, so don't ignore that, right? And as for the blue section, honestly, it doesn't really matter. This section right here I just use for TP farm, and the same thing with the green. The purple one is pretty important, right? The MP is pretty good. The green is good because a lot of the units in the game are built off of defense. For example, Thomas Andre. So if you want defense percent and additional defense on this side, you don't want any damage reduction, which unfortunately this is what I have, right? But actually we could change this, get this defense percent going right here, right? This would be pretty good. So that's 3.6, 3.2. Defense percent gem. Honestly, I could just change that. I'm going to be real. We're going to hold off on that for a little bit. Do I have any tier 4s here? Not even any. We're just going to hold off for a little bit on that. Because I don't even need, I don't think I need, actually, you know what? Let's just toss a quick defense percent right there. Look at us. We're going to lose some TP. That's fine. That's completely okay. But now our Thomas is definitely a bit stronger. And we have a few other stronger units as well. We have a nice additional MP right here, but that's tier 4. Tier 4s are a lot easier to get than the tier 5s. Obviously. Tier 5s, and the tier 5 gems themselves aren't really too good, but it does help a lot, right? So if you guys are building towards that, that's what you want to do. So that's basically the gems that I have on my Jinwoo here that also work for my other hunters. Speaking of hunters, right, we're going to be talking about the hunters for a little bit. This video is technically Jinwoo's video, but I also do want to talk about the hunters. We're now moving in a meta where it's going to be fire dominant, basically Workshop of Brilliant Light, specifically Workshop of Brilliant Light, because of the defense pen, like I said. We're going to talk about some builds real quick. My builds for these units aren't optimal right now, simply because of the Workshop of Brilliant Light actually changing how I wanted to build my units, right? So for example, my Yusu Hyun, I have to run an 8-piece curse set on her just because it is my best set for her. But if we take a look at what she's getting here, we have a 23% defense penetration, we have 24% damage increase. We're missing out on crit hit rate, but that's okay. Our crit hit damage is also pretty low, but it's still not bad. We're going to be able to increase this with the cores, right? So I'm going to change a lot of these for her, and we're going to give her a crit hit rate core right here, and then maybe a few. We'll keep these the same, right? I don't care about crit hit damage, honestly, but crit hit rate we want over crits, that way she can do her max, right? For Essel, what I'm doing is 4-piece Curse and 4-piece Greed. However, you could go 4-piece Greed and 4-piece Expert on this side, right? Which would be very strong for her. We can take a look at her stats, what I have for her. 10% defense pen and 16% damage increase. We have slight over crit here. And crit hit damage at 203%, right? So very good. Very, very, very good for her. Gina is just a regular support build, right? We have a blessing set on her. So the fire team right now is actually insanely good. If you take a look at Taipao recently just uploaded a world record video with the fire team. Yu Soo Hyun, because of Essel's support that she gives with the defense pen, is out damaging Thomas Andre with support from Akari and Gunhee, right? So I think that's the meta that we're currently moving in. Defense penetration is very tight, guys. Literally, defense pen is so important right now just because of, again, the boss's levels, the higher defense that they're able to get now in the game and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So you want to build your Jinwoo, like I said, around the same stats like this. You're going to want to be focusing on the defense pen. Damage increase, yes, but if you can't get to a certain point, I think right now you do want to prioritize your defense penetration, your crit hit damage, and your crit hit rate. Damage increase can come after. I do believe they're releasing something in the future to increase our damage increase, so we can wait for that. It'd be very, very, very good for us as well. So yeah, guys, if you guys did enjoy this video, hit that like button, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.